Yes, yes, easy peasy.
Okay, hello everyone. Happy Friday. I hope everyone's doing well. Um, Bit of a random stream, but I've really been itching to just do a landscape or kind of a scene. Hello, Subi. Good to see you. And I played this game called Hellblade. Maybe you guys have heard of it. And it was very pretty. There's a lot of things you can say about Hellblade, but I don't think anybody can not say that it's not a beautiful game. So, yeah, I really wanted to just try and kind of like use some of that as inspiration. And I literally just started. This is like, I really want to do this in one stream, but it might be a little tough because I haven't really done like any planning for this. So I literally just started getting some reference images. So another thing that's really inspiring to me for this scene is the Northmen. So these are a couple of shots from the Northmen. I think this was a place that they filmed. I really want to do like something kind of like this, but I want it to be a little bit more grand looking. And I really want a volcano in the background and then having like a plume of smoke coming out. And then maybe like a cabin or a hut or something to give it a little something else extra. This is kind of what I imagine like Bob Ross would paint if he visited Iceland instead of Alaska. So yeah, I've also been downloading some mega scans here. These are all Iceland type things. So oh, I should get that too. Let's get that. So I've got some various rocks and some different types of dirt and surfaces and things like that. I'm downloading them all in like crazy high resolution nanite 8K. We're going for like maximum cinematic effect here. Do I have moss? I do have moss. I have this moss right here, Icelandic moss. Actually, look, let's see. I feel like we also need mossy ground. That looks nice. Let's get that too. Just give me all of it. We do also need some grass, I feel like. Grass is kind of hard to find, though. You like moss? Hey, Darkslayer, welcome. It's been a minute. You're excited to see what progress you made? Well, I'm just starting a new project, so no, this is literally just like a one-off thing. Wait, did that actually add? Why do I feel like that's not being added? Mossy grounds. Mossy ground. Oh, mossy ground. There it is. Okay. Ooh, okay. So there's a couple of things that I also need to do. No worries, Dark. How are you doing, man? Let's see. So I want to go to rendering. I want to make sure we're using Lumen. Good. I want virtual shadow maps. Nanite, good. We also want virtual textures. Our textures. This is also the first time I'm using Unreal Engine 5.4.1 specifically. Curious to see how it runs. Oh, there it is. Virtual textures. Thank you. Okay. DirectX 12. Okay, that's good. Let's restart. Zora! Hello, Zora! Welcome. We're doing the thing, that's right. I'm beyond excited to show you how things have gone as well. I'm excited to see. Let's see. Ooh, we definitely need some good fog. Can I drag these? Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. It's good to kind of get those colors. Mossy rock area. That's really cool looking. My Silent Hill is showing. Man, I'm so excited to see more Silent Hill 2 remake. The rumors are that game is very close to being ready. You're gonna draw some Finnish backgrounds in the meanwhile. I should do a Finnish inspired landscape sometime. I could probably use some of your pictures for reference, Suvi. Hello, Hero. It's good to see you. How are you? Let's see. Images, arrange, optimal. There we go. Yeah, that would be really fun, Suvi. I would like to do that. That's awesome, Hero. I'm glad to hear. How's school going? Okay, let's go ahead and start setting up some things. How often do I use timers? Occasionally. I have a timer for my door blueprints that I made that auto closes, or it starts a timer. It checks for the player's distance, and then like after a certain distance, it starts the timer for when it should close. Trying to think what else I've been using a timer for lately. I haven't been doing a lot of blueprint stuff lately. That's awesome, Hero. Glad to hear. You found them so useful for guns. I've even learned how to check if it's already running. Wait, for guns? How are you? I don't understand how you're using it for guns. Can you explain more? Oh, so like if it's an automatic weapon or something, you're using a timer to like figure out how often to shoot the projectile or line trace or something. I don't actually know how the weapons in horror mechanics do that. They might use a timer. Or you know what? Actually, I think it's based off of the animation. So like it waits for the animation to update and then like gives you the option to replay the animation. So like if it's a handgun, semi-automatic handgun, like it plays the animation. Think, and that's where it's getting the time from. But are you using procedural, anything like procedural for the animations? Because I could see timers working well for that.
Hi, welcome again.
Okay, I was thinking about using like a real world height map for this, but I think we'll just make it. Using static meshes, bringing them into Blender, separating the parts, and moving them individually. Wait, are you creating like a skeleton for them? Or are you just animating them all in blueprints? there's a couple of things that I know I'm going to want also. I want you. I want you. All in BPs, I'm using a lot of math based on how often it can fire, so it has to move on Y, then back to X, and dividing the shot timer by 2, etc. Gotcha. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and bring in this. Yeah, I am interested in how you're doing that. And let's see, let's go ahead and also add in post-processing. I'm excited to see it too. Hopefully I can make something look halfway decent in a couple of hours. Alright, so I think probably should do a landscape material first. I do want to get a sense of scale for some of these assets. Let's also make sure that nanite is enabled. It is. Thank you for the alert, Kiro. Am I not seeing thumbnails for these? Because they're massive. Hey, plan. When you try to edit meshes in Engine, if I try to select a face, it grabs the whole model. You mean like in the modeling tools? I really hate how they changed this up 5.1 and give you these categories like this. Can't ever remember where something is. When you say edit the face, what do you mean exactly? Like, what part? I did finish it, yeah. It was about 7 hours. I have mixed feelings on it, but I actually feel like most reviews are pretty positive. I mean, it's like 82 or something on Metacritic. That's pretty high. You try to grab a face. I don't know if I understand what you mean, though. Like, are you using something in the modeling tools to grab a face? I honestly don't really use the modeling tools that much. I use like 3 things in the modeling tools. I use the cube grid, changing the pivots, and the Boolean under model. Oh, I use plane cut sometimes. So like poly group edit. This may not have been a good idea to do on this thing because it's crazy high poly. Oh, okay. I think that's one of my biggest issues with the game plan is I do find it quite disappointing that it took so long to make a relatively short game. Where plan? I feel like you're very divisive sometimes on purpose because I really don't understand why you're saying that it's mixed reviews. Like, do you think 82 is bad for a Metacritic score? I think that's actually quite good. I would say, like, if I was going to say something wasn't very good reviewed, I would say, like, it was in the 60s or something. But I guess maybe that's just an opinion. I'm sure there's a lot of drama about the game, but I don't feel like that warrants saying that it's not very well reviewed. There's drama about all games, that's true. I honestly liked it quite a bit. I had my issues with it, but I think it was good. Yeah, I think I agree with you on those things, Plan, but I still don't understand why you're saying that it was not reviewed very well, because I feel like it was reviewed pretty well. I mean, I'm kind of the same way, Zora. Like, I don't really care about reviews as much either. But I do care about them in that, like, if a game is poorly reviewed, that does affect the game or the developers more so in that, like, you know, if a game isn't reviewed very well and if it doesn't sell very well, then it might be, you know, the studio might be shut down, especially nowadays. So if it's a game that I do really like, and especially if it's a game that I feel like doesn't deserve the negative reviews that it got, then that is a little frustrating. Yeah, but Plan, people literally complain about everything. I got in an argument on Twitter, which I know I shouldn't have done, although it was kind of fun. But someone was saying that God of War, I can't remember exactly. Well, let me find it because I literally tweeted them or X'd them, whatever we call it nowadays. This person says, I hate God of War 2018 and its effect on the gaming industry. And I said, that's a very strange take. You must realize you're in the minority, right? God of War 2018 is considered one of the greatest games of all time at this point. And they say, who says it? Game journos? Their opinion is meaningless. And then I said, no different than yours then. And then they said, my opinion matters more because I'm a potential customer. I don't think they understood. But again, this is my point. Like, God of War 2018 is one of the greatest games of all time. It is one of the highest reviewed games of all time. Personally, I think it's one of the greatest games of all time. And I think that is what most people would say. Like, yeah, sure, there's going to be some people that don't like the game, and that's totally fine. But my point is, there's people that will, say anything is a bad game, including one of the greatest games of all time. It does matter, but I don't let it affect my purchases like some people. Also, some games sell well, but the studio closes because they're too niche. Yeah. For some reason, we humans just love to argue about everything under the sun. That's true. We have this competition mindset, which is sad. Like, you're not forced to play something you don't like. Everyone thinks it's funny to clown around and just become nasty. So silly how the world goes. Well said, Hero. I agree, 100%. You have a medical problem called side quests. All I know is I have so many games I need to actually finish. It's an actual problem, yeah. But God of War is very story-heavy too, just like Hellblade. It's like a playable movie. Maybe that is what he's talking about, though. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, yes, it is very story heavy, but like there is way more gameplay in God of War than there is in Hellblade. Well, it's weird because God of War and Hellblade are like extremely similar in some ways. Especially the first God of War and the first Hellblade. Like, they're very similar games in that the story in God of War is that your wife dies and you're taking her ashes to the top of a mountain. And in Hellblade, you're trying to go and revive your husband that died and essentially taking his bones to, not the top of a mountain, but to a place. Spoilers. It's not spoilers. I mean, it literally is in the first 10 minutes of the game. Oh yeah, the camera too. Like they did the one take camera. But that's kind of where the comparisons end. Like, there's just so much more gameplay in God of War than there is in Hellblade. Well, no, I'm specifically talking about God of War 2018. Sorry, maybe I didn't make that clear. But God of War 2018 is Norse mythology. Okay, what am I doing here? Let's go with Overcast. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, God of War 2018 is Norse mythology. He look, spoiler alert, I haven't even played the old games, but I already know this. He kills all of the Greek gods. There's no more gods to go after. So he has to go after someone else. So, okay, what I'm thinking is we want like this massive volcano in the background, right? Let's actually think about this. So yeah, for anyone that wasn't here when I played Hellblade yesterday, I'll just give my quick thoughts on it. I liked it quite a bit, honestly. I thought for what it was trying to do, I thought it did it very well. And it's a very, very, very good cinematic experience with a good story. But that's kind of where it ends for me. The first one I liked quite a bit. Sorry, I'm just thinking about this. Okay, so the first one I liked quite a bit. The first one I liked a lot, actually. I loved the story in the first one. The first one had a really, really good personal journey. It was very intimate feeling. The second one, the story didn't hit nearly as hard for me. And I think it's because there's a couple of reasons why. I thought it started out really good. It was like this, it seemed like it was going to be this revenge tale where Senua allowed herself to be captured. And then it took a shift to where, like, okay, they crash on the shore. She fights her captor and she actually takes him captive. But then it took like this weird turn where she starts to go off and, like, you know, fight the gods and tries to solve their problems. And that just didn't work for me quite as well. It didn't feel as personal as the first one. And it just didn't hit as hard. I didn't feel like we had enough time to really get to know the characters, because this time there's characters involved instead of just, you know, again, a personal journey. And while I did like the characters, I just didn't feel like they had enough time to develop them. Because, you know, the game is only 6-7 hours, and then you're only spending it like 2.5 hours with these actual characters. So I would have liked to have had more with that. The little bit of gameplay that there is in the game was just okay to me. The first game, I didn't love the gameplay at all, really. I didn't really love the combat. I really didn't like the puzzles. The second one, they actually simplify the combat even more, which I think that could be a negative to some people, but I think I actually preferred the combat in the second one, because if they're not going to do anything interesting with the combat, then just make it easier and make it look cooler, which they did. And then kind of the same thing with the puzzles. They made those a little bit easier, but again, it's like I hated them in the first game, and I really don't like them in the second game either.
Slow and insidious.
Hi, Koala. So, in that way, it was like, yes, it's slightly better in the second game, but I still don't really like it that much. But then, the real shine of the game is the cinematic looks and just kind of overall experience to the game, which they really, really nailed. I did really, really like some of the sequences, like some of the specific sequences where I don't want to get into spoilers in case anybody is watching that hasn't played it, but like some of the enemies that you are trying to be very vague. Some of the enemies that you are running from and helping out / attacking. Those are some really cool sequences. Some of the specific fights themselves were really cool. All from like a cinematic feel. And then, like I said, the story just didn't hit quite as hard for me as it did in the first game. So I would probably give it like a 7 out of 10, or I would probably give the second or the first one like an 8 out of 10, like a really solid 8 out of 10. But I do think what who said this? Was it Plan or Zora? Someone said this. I do think it is frustrating to me that it took 6 years or whatever it was to make this game, because it's like, I think what's also so frustrating is that the first game, like their whole idea with that game was to make a AAA look and feel game in like a 2-year time span. And they said it was going to be shorter. It was going to be like, not as much gameplay. And so that's why I feel like it was a little bit more forgiving that they didn't have full-on gameplay and, better puzzles and that kind of stuff. But now, like, they kind of did the same thing, and they kind of even made some of the stuff even more simplistic, but it took 6 years. And that's disappointing. That's definitely disappointing to me. But yeah, I'm glad that I got to play it. Thank you, Game Pass. You heard all the fighting in Hellblade is you getting beaten up? Well, yeah, if you're bad at the game. I don't know, Plan. I think maybe you should play the game instead of just reading about it. And if you don't care about it, then don't read about it. What am I doing? Landscape. Sculpt. I make this bigger. Why can't you simply... Oh, that's fair. Let's see, I need to set... If you do control and then a number, it'll set a bookmark for you. So... it's kind of good. Okay, so I think something kind of like this is what I'm wanting, at least on the left side, and then on the right side, I want the volcano to be over there. So I'm gonna go for that. So let's I feel like this needs to be way bigger. I also need to get more sense of scale here. Where is our guy? Oh. This is just totally for fun. Detroit Become Human? I feel like Detroit Become Human was a little longer. Yeah, How Long to Beat says 12 hours for Detroit, which was probably even longer for me. I remember it took a while. Is this actually smoothing? I don't feel like this is smoothing. You know, maybe our landscape is too big. Let's do another one. Or I might have made the resolution too big. Good night, Koala. Take care. Why does it seem like that? It's not moving as much as it seems like it should. You know what? I have an idea. Forgot I actually have some high poly terrain. Bet one of these will work well. Although I don't know if I can use the height data from these.
Folder.
Oh my goodness, those are huge. 10 gigs? I didn't realize that was that big. Well then, that'll just give us time to make a landscape material.
Download these from the marketplace. You can Google search free, human scale OBJ material. And
It's been a really long time since I've made a landscape material, so I'm going to watch a tutorial here. Materials. Landscape. I'll go ahead and create a material instance.
And we're going to name this MM for master material _ landscape. And then let's go ahead and open this. And we see here, we have our material output node right here. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to go over here to this use material attributes. And we see it condenses it all into one little pin. The reason being is because what we're going to be plugging everything into is what's known as a landscape layer blend. And the output is only one pin. Now you can go in here, break material attribute, and plug it in like this. It would render the same sort of ways to get to the Unreal Engine in that it can be kind of like ultimate material. This is going to be the material that you're going to use as a sort of foundation for which you can build upon it. And we'll add some sort of bonus stuff here towards the end of this video as well. So first and foremost, we're going to add some layers. The amount of layers, these layers are going to dictate the amount of layers you're going to be able to paint in your actual landscape. And so here we see they're all
Let's see, we want to have grass.
One thing to remember is Unreal Engine. When you're using Unreal Engine, naming conventions are really important. Now, things don't have to be particularly spelled, a specific sort of way or whatever. However, if you're going to be linking things, you want to make sure that they have the same name. Also, just organizationally, you want to make sure they have the same name. So this one, we can name base. This one, let's go dirt. And this one, let's say moss. And the other thing is we see here this blend type. There's weight blend, alpha blend, and height blend. The most common ones you're probably going to use is either weight blend or height blend. The difference being is weight blend more so takes in consideration the sort of weight of the brush, whereas the height blend will actually take into account the displacement map or whatever sort of mask you have that you're using for it, but actually take that into account to actually blend between the materials. So for this, we're actually going to use height blend, and we see now we have an extra pin for both. The reason being is the height is sort of calculated separately. The displacement blend is handled separately, and so we want to make sure that we are going to be plugging our displacement stuff into here and our actual, all of our materials into here. So first and foremost, what we want to do is right-click, and we're going to grab a texture sample. You can either do it this way, or if you've already downloaded materials from Megascans, then you can just grab the textures from Megascans and you can bring them in.
What is going on?
All right, so I just went ahead.
Just waiting on Unreal Engine. So slow. going on? There we go. It's painful. Okay. So yeah, I think our base is going to be what do we have? Gravel, ground, lava sands. Ooh, maybe that's...
And grab some textures from megascans from surfaces, just drag them, drop them in here. And the next thing we want to do is I'll hook these up first, and then we'll take a look at this one. So this one, so for your normal map, first and foremost, you want to convert this to a parameter. And we're going to name this base underscore normal. You can also just do base and then like space. You don't necessarily need to do the underscore. I grew up using the underscore, so for me it's just second nature. I convert to parameter, base, ARD, and we know this is ARD because that's actually the name of it. Well, it's ORD, occlusion, roughness, displacement. The A also occlusion, ambient occlusion. ARD or ORD doesn't matter. Either one's perfectly fine. And then same here. So base, albedo. If you're wondering how do we know to name it base, I'm just naming it based off of whatever the layer name is. So whatever your layer name is, you want to make sure that your nodes are going to have the same sort of naming convention. So with this texture, for those of you that may or may not know, this is what's known as a channel path texture. So if we go in here and swap through the different channels, red, ambient occlusion, green is roughness. So let's go ahead and give this some parameters actually. So the ambient occlusion, to be perfectly honest, I don't really use the ambient occlusion that often, but the roughness, I'm going to actually plug this into a power node. You could also use a cheap contrast node. If we open the cheap contrast node, it's built different. I found that I'm going to go in, an intensity slider on something or a number value, and you want to be able to control it in your material instance. That's when we're going to be using the scalar parameter. So this one, I'll name it base, rough, contrast, just give value 1. And I'm going to hold an M, and then multiply and left click to bring in the multiply node. The multiply node is probably the most common node you're going to use to combine those. Cool. So now that is set up, and we can even rough, hold S again, left click for another scalar. I'm gonna call this base, rough, int for intensity, give a default value of 1. Cool. So now that is set up, and we can even copy paste this. So Control C, Control V, plug that into the displacement so we can have a bit more control over that, and call this, just rename this base displacement contrast and base displacement intensity, and leave it all the same.
Wait, what is the blue?
Plug that into the displacement. That is set up, and we can even copy paste this. So Control C, Control V, plug that into the displacement so we can have a bit more control over that, and call this, just rename this base displacement contrast and base displacement intensity, and leave it all the same. The normal map, we're gonna pull out here. We're going to use a flatten normal, and with this we actually have to reverse it, because what this node actually does is if I plug this in and we start cranking up the values or whatever, it's actually going to reduce the normal map intensity. And one thing you can technically want is to have one minus node, like so. And then we could just rename this to normal int intensity. You know, if you want to spell it all the way out, you can. And then for the albedo, one thing I actually like to do, and you can set this up manually as well, but one thing I like to do actually is, you know, we have Megascans, we all use Megascans, you know, it's very accessible to all of us who use Unreal Engine, and there's a lot of great stuff that they actually built into Megascans. And so what I tend to do is I'll just grab the aspects of their material that work well within my own workflow, and I'll just adopt that into my material. So for instance, if we open up their Megascan master material and open up this, you know, they have all these different controls. In my opinion, the control that sort of makes the most sense is the albedo controls. These are really great. And, you know, like I said, we can make this, or we can just Control C, Control V. What I will say is when you are working in a production setting, oftentimes you are working in a way in which you need to provide quality, and you need to provide quality pretty quickly, especially if you're working in virtual production, where things are constantly changing. So, you know, this, you know, which again you can build, might take you 30 seconds or it takes you 2 seconds to just hit Control C, Control V. Personally, I like to just copy paste it and then just rename it. So base, base. Next thing we want to do is we want to grab everything, and in the group right here, we want to change this to group base, and same with these, change it to group base.
Group base. Wait, what?
We want to change this to group base.
Oh, we literally just typed that in.
Base, and same with these, change it to group base. So this way in the material instance, they're all together. And as far as tiling goes, there's a few ways you can tile things. The classic way is using a texture coordinate, plugging it into multiply, giving it a scalar, and you'd plug the A into here, scrap. So we there's a few ways you can tile things. The classic way is using a texture coordinate, plugging it into multiply, giving it a scalar, naming it like base, tiling, and you'd plug this into the UVs, like so. The other way, the two other ways, is you can use a texture variation node, where you'd plug this into here, and this ARD, you basically just grab a texture sample. You can copy this one, paste it. You need to convert it to a texture object, and if you want to know how do I know that, is if you actually look at some of these functions that yes, so we convert that to parameter. Here, let me showcase it like this thing. If you to make it, let's do a tile like this, tiled quick and convert to param here.
That's all I needed to know.
apply.
UV. Yeah.
And we see how that tiling is. You would plug that in. And what this one is going to do, actually, quick, make material attributes. So we are going to plug this all into a make material attribute, so we can actually plug it into something. If you are going to be using the displacement feature, in 5.3, then you would plug this into displacement, of course. Let me go ahead and do this. Okay. So right now, this material is using the classic base sort of tiling. And I'm just going to put this on a plane real quick to make it easy, like so. And if I go over to materials, landscapes, and if I put that on here, I'm going to tile that a few more times. Tile of 3. Okay. Let's do a tile of like 5. Okay. So if we put it on here, we see how we're getting this tiled pattern. And this texture variation node can be a really quick and easy way to create breakup and variation. Now you can sort of right click on these, promote these two parameters as well.
You ever just create something and you just want to go like, I made this but can't yet? Wait. I don't know if I understand what you mean. Why would you say you made this but can't yet?
But for right now, let's just plug this shifted UVs into here. Hit apply.
You're working on game stuff? What are you trying to do?
And we see how that tiling is broken up now. And one thing that you will see, and it may or may not be super apparent, it's kind of apparent right here, but it'll create these sort of lines. What this is doing is it's using the sort of algorithm to just sort of break up and warp the actual placement of the material, which again can be effective if you want to break up your tiling. So if this is something you're struggling with, you know, you're seeing a lot of repeating patterns, instead of just using this, which again classically this is kind of, you know, like material 101, like your first tiled material, you do this. If you just plug it into a texture variation node and create a texture object, it's really that easy. I mean, of course, you can like right click on this, promote to parameter, you know, hover over it. The base is 3.24. Variation level for this one, right?
Writing and concept stuff? Oh, okay. I think I understand what you're saying now. So, like, you're creating concepts and you're like, I have this, but I can't make it yet. Is that what you mean? Something doesn't look right. you're being a creative lead person. That's good. This is not working. Boy. What did I do wrong? Oh, that's what I did wrong. I think. Yeah. Okay. Base tile. Sun is rising. It's not even 3 a.m. yet. Getting to be that time of year, huh? Can't wait to melt. Ugh.
Right click on this. Yeah, so we can add these. So we can add these scalar parameters and have a bit more control over the variation breakup. So if we go back to our material, create material instance, we put that material instance now with it. So yeah, this one actually, if you promote to parameter, it'll give you an error. So we want and move this over here. Grab that landscape layer blend again. 3. Base. Dirt. Or let's have the base. The base will be dirt. This one will be moss. And then this one will be a path. The path will be for a little extra demo thing at the end. So with this, we can plug this one into layer base, and the height, which by the way, I renamed these to blend. So base blend contrast, base blend intensity, because that's what it's actually doing. And it'd be a lot easier as we're going through the material instance to understand that.
know, I remember us talking about that. I would love to go to Iceland. I don't know if next year is feasible for me, but I definitely want to go, Suvi. Honestly, like, Iceland, Japan, New Zealand. I think those might be my top 3 destinations that, like, I really want to go before I die. I've always wanted to go to Iceland during the... Wait, I don't remember which one it is. I guess it would be the summer solstice, right? Where it's basically like a sunset for like 18 hours a day.
Cool, so we got that. And we can organize this all a little bit if you'd like. And from here, you just do the same sort of thing and kind of rename things. I'm not going to switch out the materials here. I'm going to end up switching them out in the material instance. But for this, just name this one Moss. And I'm just going to copy and paste that. And that's really all we need to do as you sort of duplicate through here is...
Let's see, so this is gonna be grass. Take a cruise and see whales. Whales are cool. Base. Why is this not updated?
Just change the names and the grouping of it. So change our moss. One thing, water with where, you know, maybe you do need to add additional functionality and you need to create, you know, more complicated materials, things like that. However, you know, again, we tend to be working against the clock when we're working on, you know, different shows and things like that. You know, you might get handed, you know, 47 sets in 8 months to do it, and which sounds like a decent amount of time. However, it quickly becomes the case that that's no time at all. So you need to work pretty quick usually. And so what I'm getting at is if you don't need a particular sort of, function in your material, then there's not really a need to do it. Like, you don't need to overcomplicate your materials in order to make something that looks good. I feel like oftentimes we mistake complexity for good, when oftentimes it's really these like simplistic approaches that really just seem to work. It's just creating these simple materials.
There we go. Okay. Okay, so let's see. We're going to do dirt. C, Control V. This will be dirt. Dirt color. Normal. Dirt ARD. Make that dirt class. Let's see, that, those two, that will all be dirt. Perfect. Okay. Now we need moss. See. Yeah. Yeah, pandas, I think they can be quite deadly. They have like razor sharp claws. Yeah, they do. Okay, one more. This is going to be rocks. And we are going to do height for that. The air fryer was invented just for pizza. So perfect. I have never really been a big fan of air fryers until I got my what is it called? My sister got it for me for Christmas. This thing right here. I freaking love this thing. I literally just use it as my oven. It is a full-on oven, but it works so freaking good. It heats up so quickly. I love it. You can turn it on to like 425 degrees, and it's heated up in like 20 seconds. It is crazy. One of my favorite things. Yeah, this one's really cool because it comes with, did I close that? Yeah, it comes with this little basket here, like this, and it's so perfect for just putting anything in it. Super easy to clean. You can also just use it like a straight-up oven as well. And you can just, bake stuff, you can toast stuff. But then it has the air fryer, and air broiler works really well as well. It works so good. It's relatively cheap too. 100. I honestly think I'm gonna buy another one just for when this one stops working. Like, I love it so much. It's so great. Yeah, it's Ninja. Did you see? I can bring it up again. Here, I'll literally just paste here's the thing. There you go. Panthers? I don't know if we have panthers. We have bobcats, I know. We don't really have anything around my area. But I know in the where I used to live in the mountains, they had bobcats and mountain lions. Okay, rocks. Cali has pumas. Rocks. Okay, I think we are finally done. So now, base, dirt. Boy. Oh, I missed some stuff. Darn. I need to organize this a little bit better. So this is base, color. Grass. California. I really want to visit California, but I wouldn't want to live there. What is this? Dirt. It's moss. And rocks. Oh, I see. Bummer. I have to rename all of these. gonna take forever. I'd like to visit Canada. Canada seems lovely. I really should have just found a landscape material to use instead of making my own. Dirt. Okay. Moss. Moss. Rocks, no. Moss. Okay, rock. Good. Not good. We're almost done making the landscape material. And we can actually have fun. This is good practice, though. Okay. Apply. Save. Now. Base. Variation, good. Dirt. Okay, this is good. grass, moss, and rocks. Okay, now we need to insert all of our textures. Base is fine. Dirt. What do we have? Gravel, sand, moss. Well, that's moss. So we need color. Normal. ORD. It's fine. I think we'll use these for rocks. Color normal. And ORD. Save. Okay, I still need grass. Why did I get so many rocks? I'm gonna use that for grass. Color. Normal. ORD. I don't have dirt. Red gravel maybe? Or that. I kind of like that. Icelandic gravel porous rock. Icelandic gravel porous rock. That's gonna be my dirt. Okay. Save. Now. I think we can finally do this. Escape. So we want to create. I've never done displacement.
Materials,
Yeah, let me see how he's doing this.
knowing which materials will go well together and why. We're going to use weight blended layer. So when you're doing this, you need to make sure that you are creating your layer info. And so for this, we're going to use weight blended layer. I'm just going to save them here to make it quick. Weight blended layer, save, save, save. Like so. So now, I'm going to bring my scale model over here as well. And again, working with the scale model is great because then you can kind of determine how big or small your texture should be. So for example, we're looking at this. Texture is really tiny right now. So we can go ahead and we can, so do keep that in mind. I don't want a gravelly moss. I might use the gravelly moss for the base. Yes, and so we see here, for example, actually, that
I think I'm actually going to use this as my base. Base. Color normal. Boy, that looks awful because of the tiling. I thought this texture variation would fix that. Maybe it's because we're well, no. I don't think that's gonna work.
Our modest fellowship expands. Praise the sub.
Zora! Thank you so much for gifting that sub to Plan. Let's see what this looks like. Wait, why are these all of a sudden virtual textures? Why does thou hate me? This color. Normal. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Okay. We're finally getting somewhere. Save. Any day now. All right, now I really need to smooth some of this out. Yes, Texas is hot. Hot climate and hot food. That's right. Barbecue sauce from McDonald's. You guys have barbecue sauce in Germany, though, right? Or is that more of a southern thing? I feel like the kind of barbecue sauce you guys have isn't too bad. I just do not understand why this smoothing tool is not working. very well. Be the difference, break the mold plan. Ooh, okay, that's maybe working better. Maybe not. It should be smoothing way more than it is, and I don't understand why it's not. It's getting better, though. Be right back, guys. I just have to pee. That's a little too much. Let's try something else here. Okay. I think I really like this. I feel like we're going to use this a lot. think the tiling on this base is probably a little too large. Let's see. Tiling. Yeah, that's better. Like, most of Unreal Engine lately is just waiting for things to load. Granted, these are massive meshes. Just wish I could do something else while stuff was loading. Oh, I do kind of like that. I wonder what my landscape material would look like on there. Or if that'll even work. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Well, I'm not going to deal with that right now. Let's keep going with what we have. Whoa, this is different. Shapes. Plane. Okay, that's just to help me keep my assets organized. So let's do this. Foliage. Getting there. Pizza or no pizza? Always pizza plan. The 3 a.m. pizza? That's even better. Oh, that's so much. Yeah, that's too much. Okay, maybe 2. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay. No. I just lost a lot. That really stinks. Dadgummit, that's so frustrating. I was just about to save too. Oh, that really hurts. Oh, man. Dang it. I mean, it's like, it's not that much, but I really, like, tweaked to those settings just to get them where I wanted. No, it wasn't that. I mean, it was like 10 minutes, but it was just like I just got the rocks and things set up to where I wanted, and it was starting to look like what I want. It was like just a bunch of tedious stuff that I just have to do over again now. I think I set that to 0.1. Actually, I'm gonna go bigger on this. Let's go 8. -2 to 0. Oh, it seems like too much. 0.5. Save. It's like in Resident Evil, you know, when you lose a ton of progress, but it's really not that much progress. It just feels like it's a lot. That's what happens. Alright, I'm gonna restart again. Textures getting all blurry. Say they didn't fix that problem in 5.4. Alright, I feel like we really need like a hut or something. Like a shack. I think I could make something fairly quickly. Also, I wonder how hard it would be to make like a plume of smoke.
Just waiting for you. To achieve this effect, we need to enable a
Let's
plugin.
try it.
Go to Edit, select Plugins, and search for Nagra. Enable this plugin, confirm by clicking Yes, and then restart the engine. Go to the content folder, right-click and create a new folder called VFX. Open the VFX folder, right-click again and create a Niagara system. You can also find it inside the FX assets. Select the first option and click Next. Inside the FX assets. Select the first option and click Next. In the new panel, make sure you are not in the template section. Instead,
Wait, what? This looks different.
go to the parent emitters and select Grid 3D Mask.
Yes. Oh, that actually looks really good. I'm just curious what that looks like. Dang, that actually looks really good. That's not what I want, but just for fire? Oh, okay, this is new. I haven't seen these before. What else do we have? Grid, smoke.
Emitter. Click the plus icon and then click Finish. Rename the Niagara system as smoke_ns, and ns means Niagara system. Double click to open the graph where you will find a preview of the smoke on the left panel. Before we begin, hide the background by going to Window, select Preview Scene Settings.
Why is mine black? Goodness, there are so many settings in Niagara. Very overwhelming.
And it will open a new panel on the right. Under Environment, disable the Show Environment option. Now, since the environment is hidden, you can change the background color by selecting Environment Color under Preview Scene Settings and choosing a different color. Once done, you can close the previous scene settings as we no longer need it. While we are on the Details panel, let's select the emitter summary inside the master emitter, and we will start playing with these settings. First of all, let's reduce the resolution to 100 for better performance while we are working with the emitter. Then, let's set the temperature to something like 2.
does it feel like performance is getting worse?
And density to 0.5. Now the smoke start falling down, and this is what we need. But we need to change the local pivot y to something around minus 0.3, or maybe minus 0.2. Great, now we start getting some results. After that, set the dissipations to 0.1, which you will notice makes a difference. Then adjust the vorticity to 5 inside the smoke emitter. Choose a color of your liking.
Oh. Wait, I feel like I don't even need to do any of that stuff.
And uncheck the draw bound to hide the collision box. Finally, increase the resolution to around 300 or higher if needed to achieve better results. You will notice the improved smoke resolution, but it may have significantly slowed down your computer. To fix this, return to the nitrous system and reduce the resolution to 200. It's no lag anymore. You can clearly see the player colliding with the smoke, creating a great trail effect that you can use for various projects. Finally, create a point light. Position it inside the smoke emitter. Choose a color of your light.
Dear, I think I broke it. Hmm. What the heck? This is not doing what I want. Maybe I can just use one of these fog cards. Yeah, that'll actually probably work really good. It's not really what I want it to look like, but kind of. Whoa, that is kind of cool looking. Okay, it's way too thick though. Makes you wonder how the big game devs struggle that much to get out new games. What do you mean? There needs to be like some kind of way to tile it. Bethesda should go Unreal Engine. Are you implying that like Unreal Engine is just easy to work with? Because honestly, I don't think that that would help them necessarily get games out quicker. Oh. Ooh. Okay. It's doing something. I mean, what do you call it? Hellblade 2 was made on Unreal Engine. Still took them 6 years to make that game. Honestly, I don't know. Oh wow. Oh, that kills performance. I mean, that might be why. That's interesting. Okay. Let's get rid of that for now. Yeah, I think that they must have had like a lot of issues that caused them to like restart things. Maybe because it's overlapping. That looks weird. Yeah. I don't really know, to be honest with you, how it took them that long to make the game. I think that they must have just had, like, they must have just, you know, like, done things and been like, let's change this. Maybe change this again, change more stuff. Yeah. Wait, did all of my stuff get added? Alright, I don't think it did. No, I don't think they will either. Maybe, like, maybe when Todd Howard retires? Well, shoot, I don't have enough time to do that. Alright, we may just go ahead and call it here. Didn't really get nearly as much done as I'd hoped, which, big surprise. We got something that looks halfway decent, I guess. Don't look back that way. I think I should have imported real-world data for the terrain. That would have made things easier. And, I didn't really even do anything with the landscape material that took me like an hour and a half to make. We could do, what do we have here? Maybe dirt. Dirt. Where are you? Moss? Oh, dirt. There we go. Tiling. Actually, I'm curious. Layered dirt. What if we did dirt? We did height for that, and then tried to do displacements. I've never actually tried displacement in the new versions. Yeah, that doesn't work. Huh. That doesn't work at all. I wonder if those have to be regenerated, maybe. Dear, did I mess it up? Yeah, displacement ain't working, and I don't know why. One other thing that I feel like we need more rocks. We need like some of these. Oh wait, I have right here. I mean, it kind of breaks up the landscape a little bit, but just need a lot more work. All right, well, I'm gonna call it there, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. It was fun to do something different. Always nice to practice some landscape stuff. But yeah. Have a good night, guys. I'm gonna head out and probably see you guys again on Sunday. Hope you guys have a good night. Bye, everyone.